Welcome back to Conversations with Heath and Tracy, where we demystify your move to the DMV. Today on the docket, we are talking about the infamous, the well-known, the upper echelon city, town dwelling known as Potomac, Maryland.
So we got a little film for you.
Tracy and I went to Potomac last week.
Wait a minute.
We kicked it with y'all.
Oh no, I forgot to take out the sound, y'all.
Oh, we had the sound. We had the radio playing. What's going on? I'll talk over the radio so they can't hear, baby. They'll just see the beautiful sights and sound. Are you singing?
No.
So Trace and I decided to take a little drive. So we went out to Potomac last weekend, and we had the music playing in the car, and Tracy was taking some video. And so this is what you're saying. This is actual footage that Heath and Tracy took. This is not stock photography or stock videography. This is Heath and Tracy in the car in Potomac taking y'all on a tour.
Oh, I don't know if I like this.
No, it's fine. It's different, though.
Oh, wait, I can mute it.
This is different. You got to mute the music?
Oh, I did it.
Oh, Tracy muted the music. Okay.
That was disturbing. I'm sitting here in shock. I'm like, what are we going to say? What are we talking about?
See, that's back to that transparency.
That was scary. That was scary, y'all. Because I could be talking about folk.
Oh, so this is the beautiful Potomac, Maryland.
So
this is one of the neighborhoods.
So Potomac, Maryland is a suburb. It's a community. It's about 15 miles outside of D.C.
Yep.
So it's going to be on the Maryland side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just outside the Beltway. This is one of our outside the Beltway neighborhoods. It's not a mix at all.
Yeah.
It's strictly bucolic mansions and suburban homes. It has some commercial properties here and there, you know, grocery stores and things like that. It's mostly large houses.
There's a lot of big houses in Potomac.
You can see.
There's a lot of big houses out there.
And huge yards, right?
Yeah.
So it's really relaxing. It's really quiet. You know, if you want to get out of I think it's a country house vibe to me.
Yeah, it's a nice little run out there, and people living in Potomac have easy access to some of the area's best outdoor recreation. The
they got
Billy
some
Goat Trail.
cool things. Yeah, you can go to Great Falls out there.
Over in Great Falls is right across the river from there. It's a particularly popular attraction for hikers and outdoor enthusiasts. It's a 4.7 mile hiking trail.
Yep.
It's divided into 3 sections, and hikers can learn more about the area's history and the Great Falls Tavern Visitors Center.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of shopping, not a lot. Most people around here shop at Tyson's in Virginia, which is right near our house. But it's mostly residential. It's straight residential. You got residential schools, little restaurants here and there. It's mostly for locals. It's very local feeling there. The shopping center is designed as an outdoor mall, so it's got like plenty of trees, as you can see. It's got like little quaint brick buildings, you can stroll through and everything. And then you've got everything is that's like the city center that we're showing you right now. Then that's pretty much it,
Right. Yeah.
So not a lot going on in Potomac.
Super residential.
It's just very, very upper echelon.
Yeah.
Very, very. I want to be out here in my part of the world.
Yep.
I might work in D.C. or something like that, but as you can see, you need a lawn man.
Yeah. Got to have a lawn man on deck.
You need a housekeeper.
Got to have the housekeeper for them 10,000 square feet out
this
there.
Is not, your typical suburb.
Right.
Not typical at all. Not even close. So I don't think I saw one small house. There.
Yeah, some of our folks who maybe lived in Atlanta, right? You're accustomed to like the big houses and all of that stuff. You definitely have some kind of Atlanta suburban vibes when you go out to Potomac, but it's on a different level.
Yeah, Atlanta's not even close.
It's on a different level in terms
Atlanta's
of
not close.
Just the scale of the properties.
Yeah, and the scale of the homes. It's like a giant Buckhead. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
It's like a giant. If you've ever been to Buckhead in Atlanta, this is like a gigantic Buckhead.
So if you want to be out here in Potomac, make sure you bring the bag. Bring the lawn man.
I think the homes are. I think the homes are
housekeeper.
reasonable. I think for what you're getting, the homes are reasonable. The homes in Arlington and DC cost the same, but you're getting a lot more bang for your buck.
Yeah, but so here's the thing though: when you get a house that size,
you got to pay for it.
That's all I'm saying.
Woo! Your taxes are lower. It's like
lower than what?
Lower than Oh, no. Your taxes are higher. I'm sorry. The taxes are higher in Maryland. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Potomac.
But bang for the buck if this is
definitely
what you're looking
bang
for.
for the buck. If you
Right.
want a big house,
If this is what you're looking for.
if you want a lot of land,
Yep.
if you want,
Some
privacy,
exclusivity.
Yes. We're working on doing more videos too, guys. If you want more privacy, if you want more exclusivity, if you want to, I think a friend of ours told us that some friends of ours used to live in Potomac, actually. And they said the reason why the houses are so big and out there is because the first .com era, they started building larger. And then these are some of the smaller homes that we're driving past now.
These are the smaller.
These are the small homes in Potomac. Excuse me. During the .com era, a lot of people were entertaining. So because they were entertaining, they needed all this space. They needed all this grand space. For parking and entertaining.
The other thing I wanted to add was that the reason why we decided to do Potomac was because we had a request.
Yes,
for Potomac,
we did.
Right? So we
We
just wanted to
did.
remind y'all if there are specific areas that you want to see or hear about,
Let us know.
drop it in the comments.
And we'll try to do more video now that the weather is broken, now that some of the restrictions have lifted. We'll get into that later in the show.
So talk about this map right here, baby.
So as you can see, Potomac is smack dab in the middle. It sits on the Potomac River. It's
named for the Potomac River.
I guess, yeah.
It
I guess
is.
that's
It
a good
is.
point.
Yep.
And if you look at the little top of the triangle here over where it says Silver Spring, that's DC inside that triangle. So that gives you an idea of how close you are to Potomac. It's not too hard to get there. It's directly outside of the Beltway.
Yep.
So I don't think it's bad at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to live out there, it's certainly accessible.
Of course, it has an A+.
Okay, not the A+.
When was the last time we saw an A+?
It's been a minute, but see, we were doing the neighborhoods that are coming up,
Yeah, we were
right?
doing those
So
for a minute.
it makes sense that those wouldn't be to
They
the
were
A+
like,
level yet.
They were A-.
Yeah,
and stuff.
whereas this community
This
has
is
been
a well-established. It's probably one of the most well-established
Right.
communities in this area.
right.
Yeah, public schools, A+, housing. I think it's a B because it's expensive.
Right.
It is excellent for families. It is an excellent community for families.
Yeah. The kids can
I
go out,
love
they can
how
run
they have
around.
that dash for crime and safety. We're going to talk about that.
Put a pin in the crime
Putting
and
the
safety
pin in the
conversation.
crime and safety conversation. Nightlife B. I don't think there's any nightlife in Potomac, y'all. I think that needs to be like a D.
Street light.
Diversity B+. We'll get to that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Population. You believe that many people live in Potomac?
45,940.
That's a lot of folk.
Yeah, and I think the other juxtaposition of that is because the population is so big, and then you look at the average income, it really is mind-boggling.
Oh yeah. Let's see what their rankings are.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, best place to
put-
public schools. They do have public schools in Potomac, and they are highly ranked.
That's good.
To be expected. Because why? Because people that pay that much money for their homes are
Yep.
not going to sit around and just let the school board make decisions for their children.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be involved. They're going to go to meetings. They're going to be in the classrooms.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody needs to do more of. It's just what they do.
Plus,
Suburbs with the best public schools in Maryland and best place to raise a family. I definitely agree with that. If our kids were younger, we probably would have moved to Potomac.
yeah, definitely would have been strong consideration. No doubt.
Okay, cost of living and just overall. So Potomac is much higher.
It's a little more expensive. A
It's
little more
almost
expensive than
double.
the average place
It's
in the
almost
U.S.
double the average place in the United States.
Yeah.
Groceries are higher. Everything is going to be higher out there, just because they have different palates and they have different needs, and it's just a different kind of feel. Health is lower for some reason.
Yeah, we might want to do a deep dive into that.
I know what that. I think. Oh no, it's lower because you have access. The access is different, so I think that's why the cost is lower for health.
I got you.
Housing is 3 times, almost 4 times that in the United States.
Right.
Median cost of a home, as you can see, is about $866,000.
866.
And like I told you, it's you get more bang for your buck in Potomac because that's about what it is in DC.
Right.
But you're not going to get the 10,000 square foot house.
Yeah, in DC, that 866 represents maybe a townhouse or a traditional row house or a single family property in an up and coming area or a really super solid neighborhood. Whereas in Potomac, that might get you something like 6,000 or 8,000 square feet and an acre or more of land.
Yeah, at least 2 acres of land. Yeah. Utilities are going to be higher simply because your home is larger. Transportation costs are higher because you're further away from the city centers. And miscellaneous, I don't know what that is. So
but it's about the same as the U.S.
Okay. Employment information. So I was a little surprised at the income per capita. And I'm going to assume it's because a lot of people out there are business owners. You know?
Yeah, and I think the other piece of that too is the large amount of people that are out there, right? So a lot of times, you know, the population sizes that we're looking at in these other areas may not be quite as many as 45,000.
Right.
So that dilutes it some.
The job growth is lower probably because mostly it's just retail and services. So that's going to shrink definitely.
But double clicking back into that household income, 187 versus the average household income in the United States was 57.
Oh.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
to be expected.
Yeah. Just want to call that out.
Places like North Potomac. So North Potomac is fairly new. I call it Rockville.
Places like Potomac. So North Potomac.
McLean, most definitely. As a matter of fact, you drive over the bridge from Potomac, you're in McLean, doesn't feel any different. Right. It's exactly the same. Have we done McLean? I don't think we've done McLean. We live next door to McLean.
Can't remember.
So McLean is, I think the difference is McLean has more trees. Go ahead, baby.
No, I was just saying, a lot of times people think about the kind of sister town in Virginia to Potomac it being Great Falls, but McLean is essentially tied to that as well. So it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, they think Great Falls, but I think more McLean. So McLean is cool. I think it has more shopping and everything in McLean.
Yeah,
to me,
it's closer to Tyson's.
Because it's closer to Tyson's. Yeah. But the thing about McLean, and the biggest difference is it has more. It's more tree property. It's not pasture property. It's more tree property.
Okay.
Travilla is just a suburb of Potomac. Yeah. Basically. And then South Kensington, Maryland. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And what are we talking about the residents? So median household income. I don't know about this, y'all. I think is this wrong? I think this is wrong. I must have the wrong.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
Okay, so we'll get rid of that. The next one, let's say people. Yeah, so this was, 67% of people in Potomac are are married.
Yep.
A few divorcees. You've got a lot of kids. A
lot of kids. A lot of families.
Most people that live in Potomac are of the lighter persuasion.
Yep.
You have about 5% that are black. So don't think.
So everybody in Potomac not black like the housewives?
I don't know why people think that. I just do not know why people think that.
Because of the housewives.
Well, that's why they're elevated.
Yeah.
Because there aren't that many. And I don't think a couple of them even live. Like, I think one of them lives in Arlington. The new one lives way out in Maryland somewhere. She doesn't live in Potomac.
It's all right, baby. I think they all lived in Potomac at one time.
No.
At one time they did.
No.
And then homegirl moved to Great Falls.
No.
And then
the only ones that live in Potomac is the one that's not on the show anymore and the one that moved back.
I see Tracy just giving her deep inside view of the location of the housewives.
Yeah, they don't live in Potomac, y'all. Just so you know.
They live in Potomac.
No, only one.
But they used to.
Only one. When the show started, they all lived in Potomac.
Okay.
But no, they don't live one of them lives in Bowie.
So I think the other piece connected to this race thing was how we were looking at that data earlier, and it was sort of showing why it was giving like a B+ for diversity. Yeah. So you can sort of see what that is, right?
Working in Potomac, so unless you're in information systems or service industry, there's not like a job center out there at all. The job centers are in Tyson and DC and Arlington.
Yeah,
that's where the job centers are.
But that's another. This is probably an updated number connected to the one we were looking at earlier.
One. Yeah, this is the right one.
So 195K in terms of household income.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of bread. So just understand.
Residents, most people have higher degree.
Yeah.
Not really that much diversity, and not, it's just, it is what it is. Politics still very liberal. Maryland is very liberal. Montgomery County is very liberal.
Yep.
It's just not. I think that it's probably a little bit redder out there. They just didn't want to show us. Real estate, like we said, it's called dense suburban. I don't know about that. I don't know about dense suburban. I think it's country.
The way it feels in the areas of Potomac that we were visiting was a little more kind of country
It's not
suburban.
dense at all.
If Heath and Tracy were doing this slide, we would say country suburban.
We would say country suburban. It is not dense at all. Maybe they use the word dense because it's a lot of people.
A lot of people in Potomac, yeah.
But a lot of people that have at least 2 acres.
So there you go.
Median rent, y'all. You see the home value in the median rent.
Yep.
It's an option if you're looking at D.C. or Arlington and some of the higher areas.
Yeah. The other thing I want to call out here is that the almost 90% of people that live in Potomac own their house.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But although we did look out there.
We did.
Yeah, there were a few options.
They got a few places to rent out there.
So as far as purchasing a home, you need to bring at least $780,000.
Bring the bag.
Yeah. So there you go. And it's pretty regular looking houses for $1 million. But you are going to get that space. You are going to get those schools. You're going to get that family type lifestyle for renting. It's pretty average, unless you want to spend $15,000 a month.
Which you can.
You can spend $15,000, but you can also find a nice little townhome. It's saying Bethesda, but it's like right there.
Right down the line.
I know it's right where it is.
Bethesda, Potomac.
It's a little under 3 if you want to get into that school system, if you want to have that lifestyle.
Yep.
For a townhome, it's going to be more like the 4,600 that you see, and I think that's high for 3,700 square feet.
I mean, that's a big townhouse.
Yeah,
though,
that is a big townhouse. And then you have a nice home in Potomac. It's probably Potomac proper. We did look at a house there.
We
and
did?
the kids felt it was a little too small.
We looked at a few houses in Potomac.
Yeah, we did. But
I mean, in terms of the houses that were on our list that we were dissecting.
looking at, yeah. But $3,850 for that house it's a little bit more because it's just smaller, but you're probably better off buying in Potomac.
Yeah, let me just call out this. Just looking at these 2 properties on the top, baby. So the one on the one that's $3,850 is
That's a single family.
single family, and the one that's $4,600 is a townhouse.
But it's newer.
So the one that's $4,600 is newer.
Yeah, and larger.
And it's bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming maybe the location might be slightly
I
better.
would think so.
So,
that's what you're
those
looking
are the kind
at
of things
there.
you have to kind of dissect.
And, if you got the bag for the one in the bottom,
15 G's.
yeah, that means you need to be bringing down at least 40, 50 a month. Just so you know, to keep it. If you like anything you see, hit that like button. That helps us.
Hit the thumbs up, please.
That helps
Whether
us.
watching on the live or the replay, please hit the like
hit
button.
the like button.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is your commute, guys.
Hey, make sure you got the audiobooks teed up.
Make sure you have a nice car, that air conditioning that works and heat that works.
Hey,
and you get that tire membership.
Them heated seats come in handy on those long
and
drives.
Get that tire membership.
What you mean, like you get like a little hole in your tire or something? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like
you got to get the tire membership.
The tire membership.
You don't remember when we had like tire memberships?
Yeah, I think I do.
See, those days are long. We haven't commuted like this, y'all, in at least 10 years because we gave it up.
This is that Atlanta stuff right there.
This right here, this is a no for me. This
It's all
is too
good
much.
though.
It's too much.
If you live out there and you in this virtual world and you working from home and you enjoying your palatial estate, that might be right up your alley.
Schools, as you can see,
A plus.
A plus all the way.
plus,
Public
A+.
schools.
A plus.
So if you're looking for schools, the
A+.
schools are super, super important. You can find a house to live in Potomac. Do not think you can.
Not the Winston Churchill High School.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Walt Whitman. It's all good. It's all good.
But you can live there, and I think it's a great place to retire if you're thinking about if someone you know is older. It's a great place to find a home.
Oh my gosh. Smith.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for watching the Potomac. I think Potomac is a beautiful place to live.
Potomac, Maryland.
I didn't talk about crime.
Are we? Are we going to
I don't know
transition
where
to
the
our
crime-
questions before we talk about
No,
crime?
I want to talk about crime really quick.
Okay.
So
We're talking about crime, the crime report,
I tried to find crime.
the crime data, the
Did
crime
I find
statistics,
crime data?
the statistical analysis.
I tried
of the
to
crime.
find crime.
I think you did find something after doing some digging.
Yeah. And
So what were you going to say about that, baby?
so the crime data is hard to find on certain neighborhoods. It's I didn't believe this before, but now I do because we do this every weekend. I literally am looking for crime data every weekend on these different neighborhoods.
Trace is the chief producer of the show.
And what I have found is the lighter persuasion neighborhoods don't show crime.
They just had the
little dash.
just a little dash.
Just a little dash. What the
Crime for this neighborhood is
dash? And so what happens is when the appraisers go in, there's no information.
okay.
But you look up the predominantly brown black neighborhoods,
Okay.
they gonna have that crime statistic.
The data's there.
The data is there.
Amazing.
But let me share something with you. While we were driving around Potomac,
Okay.
having a wonderful afternoon,
We did have a beautiful
it was
day.
very
didn't
nice. It
we?
was very nice.
Yeah.
We decided we wanted some water. We wanted to pick up some bottled water, and we also
that's cool.
needed some gas.
Let's cruise in over here at the
So we pulled in that little city center I showed you. We pulled into the gas station. I ran in, and I was like, what? Y'all got plexiglass? The gas station in Potomac had the thick plexiglass from the countertop all the way up. All I could do is shove my money underneath the thing.
Okay.
I was so shocked. I said, y'all got plexiglass?
What did the dude say, Trey?
He said, yep. Yep. I was like, wow.
Wow, this is
He looked at me like I had two heads.
that's like some DC 80s stuff right there.
I was like, we live in Arlington. We venture into DC on the regular.
Yep.
I cannot remember the last time I walked in and saw plexiglass.
That was like the 80s. We would go into the spots.
Oh, yeah.
The little
They have
corner
little
joints.
turn things
The
so they
little
could-
turnstile. Put the money in. Put your little food.
I
and
was
your-
like, oh, so y'all got crime. So I did find the crime, y'all.
Okay.
They have more crime than the
Than the-
rest of DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
The
I had
average
to
was
show
higher.
that to you. The average was higher. Violent crime and property crime.
That is so interesting.
But it's not in the data anywhere.
Yeah, the data doesn't show it.
The data does not show it.
Interesting.
Keep that in mind.
Just points
Just
to know.
keep that in mind.
Things to know.
Things to know.
Tips
I was
from Heath and
really
Tracy.
shocked. Well, I couldn't believe I was like,
Wow.
I thought I was in Potomac.
Yes, Potomac.
Child,
Maryland.
please.
So there you go.